everybody. Welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. Our buddy, Karolina Hobson, is here. She's one of our VIP experts, is going to be dropping in from time to time to just kind of give us a couple of tips. But today we're going to talk about her passion project. As you guys know, we're a Navy house. Everybody is either a Navy brat or formerly served or retired. So the military is really important to us and very passionate for us. And PTSD has definitely touched our family. So today we're going to talk about PTSD. So sit right there. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
Hey, welcome back. Like I said, yes, our buddy Karolina Hobson is here. And as you guys know, she's one of the foremost digital experts at digital marketing. But today I wanted to talk with her about something that's really important to me and a passion for her, PTSD. Hey, Karolina, are you out there?
I'm here. Hi, Tigo. It's so great to see you. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year. Thanks for being on. And you and I were talking about what topics can we talk about? And we both agreed that this is the perfect time to talk about PTSD. The first question I have for you is, why is that your passion?
Yeah, PTSD awareness, I think that's and you bring up a great point. PTSD awareness is something that's really passionate to me, especially in first responders. A lot of people bring it up in military and veterans, but there's not a lot of awareness in it in first responders. And first responders is a broad, we're talking about fire, police, nurses. And with what we're going through nowadays, I think there's a lot of awareness that needs to be brought to it.
No, you're totally right. I totally agree. And we have a first responder right here in the house with us. And totally, years ago, I was asked, what does it feel like when people come up and say, thank you for your service, if I'm wearing a veteran hat or something like that? Now, they're saying thank you for your service to grocery clerks. They're saying thank you for your service when you're wearing your scrubs because you just left the hospital. And they don't even know how to handle that because that's not what they signed up for. They signed up to help people. They didn't realize they were going to be in a pandemic. So I totally understand. And you're right. We do need to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there are a lot of programs that are lacking in our society today to bring awareness to this issue. And I think, aside from just first responders, we're living in really tough times. And like you were saying, I think we're all over the world we're living in, and there's PTSD for everyone at all levels. So whether we limit it to just first responders, or if we're talking about the PTSD that our world is going through, there needs to be an awareness brought to it. And that's where my heart and my passion lies, is breaking the stigma. I think a good thing is if we can break the stigma in some of these tough men and women, then it can help for others to say, hey, it's okay to ask for help. Like, it's okay to go out there and say, I'm struggling. I need some help right now.
So let me ask you, because I see commercials all the time about depression, but I don't see a lot of commercials about PTSD. So if someone is living with a first responder and they know this person and they're just not the way they were before all of this COVID stuff happened. And if you guys happen to be watching this in 2035 or 2050 or something like that, and you're going, what's COVID? One, break out your computer, because I'm sure Google is still around, and go look it up. Two, we're about to go into year 3 of this thing. So what would you look for in your loved one who's a first responder?
I think that's a great question. And that's something, I think there's 3 aspects that I'm kind of looking to bring to the table. One that you brought up, that's a great place to start, is at home. If you start to recognize signs at home, if you see, maybe sleeping more, distancing yourself from friends, drinking more alcohol, not wanting to do regular activities that you enjoyed, like exercise, but also in the workplace. Like if typically Like, let's say at the firehouse, if you notice in a crew member, they're not participating in the normal activities that they normally participate in, like the workouts that they do. Sometimes when they have time to play cards or participate in the physical games that they do, and they're not as respondent to those activities. I think those are the times that as a leader, you need to step up and say, hey, I'm recognizing a sign. And that's where I really want to make it an awareness, not naming it and saying, hey, you have PTSD, but like, let's start recognizing the signs and bringing awareness to it and saying, let's just talk about it. And then if there's next steps needed to be involved, that's where we have the opportunity to reach out and help. And I'm sure you've seen.
I totally get it.
Yeah. And headlines, all the sad things that are happening right now.
Yeah, I totally get it. And I know that, not only you don't want to do things that you normally do, but in a lot of cases, these people are not going back to work. They're just done. They work their whole professional life to be a fireman or a police or, a nurse or a doctor. And they're just done. They're like, hey, I'd rather go work at a fast food joint. I just don't want to deal with this anymore. And they don't see it as PTSD. So if it is, they're listening, they're going, wait a minute, maybe she's talking to me. Where do they go next? Who do they call?
And that's, I think we're in the discovery stages of this. And I don't want to qualify myself as any kind of expert in this area, because I think I'm living this phase with the rest of society. And I'm married to a first responder. We have lots of friends who are first responders. We've had some very tragic events happen to us recently and over the years to our friends. And that's where I'm trying to bring awareness, find experts to be involved, to help find the resources and the people involved and the right places to offer those resources. So I've been working with different networks and different experts and trying to get those resources. So I'm putting together a website actually, and it's ptsdawareness.com, that will have the right resources and places to provide where to get those resources and help for others, so that they can at least have a place to go to start to look for that help.
No, I think that's amazing. That's awesome. And, being a veteran, they've put all kinds of stuff in place for us. We just call the VA and ask for some help. But I don't know what's going on with first responders, and it needs to be something there. But you can, reach out to your family members. I feel you can reach out to, depending on your religious beliefs, your church. You can reach out, to organizations in your area. But, don't just sit there, because it doesn't just go away. I've known quite a few people. I've had a little bit of it myself at one point in my life, and it doesn't just go away. You need to talk to someone. And like you said, you're not saying you're the expert. I know this is your passion project. Now I understand why you're married to a first responder. So you've been on the front line for almost 3 years now. I can totally get it. It's like, I truly appreciate you just coming on and saying, hey, take a look. So will you give them that web address one more time and just give them approximately when you think that site will be open?
PTSDawareness.com. And it should go live in this next quarter. Okay. The other thing that I would ask for support on is I do want to get a legislative bill on the table that requires mandatory trainings for our first responders. So I'll be working on that, and maybe we can have a follow-up episode, Tigo, and you can help me
definitely
launch that initiative, because I think that's a really needed thing that we need to do in the future, is to help our first responders and get that recognition out there.
Yeah, and I mean, you're one of our VIP experts, and you're part of our family. So anytime you want to come back, well, for sure, just let me know. And everybody, hey, you guys know you can go to Tigo Direct. You can find Karolina Hobson. The information will be there. And when the site does go live, I'm going to tell you. So just keep in the loop, keep checking back. Thank you so much, Karolina, for being on this month. Next month, when you come on, we're going to get into your passion, your day job. We're going to talk about what you do every day, digital marketing. But I thank you so much for, making us aware of PTSD for first responders.
Thanks for having me, Keith.
That's Alan. He cuts everybody off. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you'll come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.